And so we welcome to the living room today, and we're very grateful to, as we said, Father Daniel-Maria Klimek. He is a Franciscan friar, a professor, and an author. And I believe that he, too, is falling in love with Mary. Is that the case, Father?
Yes, it is. And thank you so much for having me. And, Our Lady, she is the one who led me to my vocation, to the priesthood. She is somebody who I consider my best friend. And so it was an absolute honor to be able to write this book. And, one of the insights about the Rosary, as you're speaking about it, which I absolutely love from St. John Paul II, is that John Paul II says, when you pray the rosary, you're also meditating on Our Lady's memories.
Hmm.
And I love that because it's realizing that it's an encounter with a woman, with our most beautiful mother. And one day she wants to share with you her most sorrowful memories, another day her most joyful memories and glorious memories because she lived through them. And it takes such trust and vulnerability and intimacy to open up that way. So to see the rosary in this spirituality of encounter, it helps immensely.
Wow. Powerful.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so, what started your journey with Mary, though? Was there an initial catalyst?
For me, it was a conversion through Our Lady's apparitions in Medjugorje. It was making a pilgrimage. It was really discovering the supernatural. For me, I was somebody who struggled with a type of cultural rationalism, not sure whether miracles exist, not sure whether Marian apparitions exist. So it was opening my heart and my soul to the mystical dimensions of the faith, the fact that it is a faith that includes Marian apparitions, stigmatics, Eucharistic miracles, and the fact that we even have a office in Rome, the Congregation for the Causes of Saints, that medically and scientifically investigates miraculous healings. It just completely broke my rationalistic worldview and opened me up to the possibility and the reality of the supernatural beauties of the faith.
Speaking of those mystical elements of our faith, one of the chapters in the book is entitled The Stigmata of Mary, and I had never heard of that before. Can you kind of help us to understand that?
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. In the tradition, we recognize Francis of Assisi as the first historic stigmatic. There's some speculation about Saint Paul in Galatians. He writes, "Do not trouble me because I am marked by the wounds of Christ." But actually, there is a mystical tradition, mystics who, in their revelations, have seen Our Lady to be the first stigmatic. One of these mystics is the Venerable Maria of Agreda, the great Spanish mystic, 17th century, who received visions of the life of Our Lady, documented in her book, The Mystical City of Gods. And in these visions, she saw Our Lady as requesting a special request from God the Father during our Lord's Passion. The request was, "Father, allow me to suffer with him so he doesn't have to go through this by himself." And according to Maria of Agreda's revelations, the Father granted Our Lady this interior stigmata, that physically she felt the wounds, she felt the scourging, she felt the crucifixion marks. And interestingly, there's support in the theological tradition. So St. John of the Cross, the great mystical doctor, he writes about stigmata, and he writes about how it begins in the hearts as a wound of love, a type of piercing of the hearts that has its this intense yearning to suffer for and with Jesus. And so we can connect that to the Gospel of Luke and Simeon's prophecy, how Simeon said to Our Lady, "And a sword shall pierce your hearts," how there could be a multifarious meaning to that prophetic statement, including a prophecy that speaks to her participation in his passion, her stigmata, which began with a wound of love in the hearts.
I think that's something that's going to resonate with a lot of mothers. You hear a lot of moms saying that, like, when their child is suffering, it feels like it's happening to them too. So I think that's honestly very logical. Can you tell us a little bit more about how to cultivate a presence of Mary in your home or in your space?
Absolutely, yes. So, with the presence of Mary, it's a spirituality that emphasizes visualizing Our Lady and speaking to her from the heart. Because often people have the situation where they may want to grow in Marian devotion, so they start praying the rosary, they read a book on Marian consecration, and these are beautiful and necessary spiritual exercises, but still they may feel like something is missing, something still needs work. And literally what's missing is speak to her from the heart, speak to her like she's your mom. You know, in the Marian apparitions of Kibeho, Rwanda, the first set of Marian apparitions that were officially recognized in Africa by the church, the visionaries, when they started seeing Our Lady, they started speaking to her in such intimate terms to the point that it scandalized a bit the people who were observing. They would refer to Our Lady as my beloved, darling, mom. And then the people asked them, how can you refer to the Mother of God with such terminology? And one of the visionaries said, because she wants us to speak to her, not like she's our principal or boss, but like she's our mom. And that's it, right? Sometimes the most sacred, sublime spiritual wisdom comes from a simple, humble visionary chosen by Our Lady to speak to her like she's your mom. Call her beloved, visualize her as if she's standing by you. When you're taking a walk, take a walk with Our Lady. When you're sitting on a bench, visualize her, speak to her from the heart, share with her your struggles, your joys, your blessings, your emotions, your vulnerabilities. Really cultivate a dialogical, intimate friendship with the Mother of God, because that's what she desires, your intimacy. She wants you to share your heart with her, and that's how you delve into a deeper prayer of the heart with our Holy Mother.
Father Daniel-Maria Klimek, thank you so much for being with us today. Thanks for writing this book. Thanks for sharing with us your intimate friendship as a son of Mary. And everything that you say is both mystical and sensible. And I'm impressed especially by that notion of praying the rosary, meditating on those mysteries as memories of our Blessed Mother, our dear Mother in heaven. So thank you for your inspiration to us today, and hope people can pick up the book. Where can they get it?
The book is available on Amazon, and it's also available at stpaulcenter.com. That's stpaulcenter.com.
Got it. Well, thank you again for joining us, and God bless you for your good work. And you've inspired me, and I'm personally grateful. So,
my pleasure. Thank you, Bishop, and thank you, Claire.
all right. God bless.